Assalamu alaikum students, me Miss Azma Zahra here. Hope you all are fine and happy at your homes. Today we are going to learn the subtopic factors affecting industries from the chapter Industries in Pakistan. So let's start. These are some factors which affect the industry. Their availability or non-availability can be effect on industry, raw material, labor, capital, market, power, supply, land and transport, as well the location of the industry can be affect an industry. Let's watch the video.
Factors affecting the location of industries. Industries have to be located after a great deal of planning as it requires huge investment. Such a combination of several factors determines the location of an industry. Availability of raw material. It is the most important factor in deciding the location, especially if the raw materials and finished goods are heavy or bulky or are perishable in nature. For example, in iron and steel industry, iron and coal are both heavy materials. Therefore, steel plants are located near iron ore and coal mines. Similarly, sugar industry is located near sugar producing area because if sugarcane is kept for a few days, it loses its sugar content. Labor. Industries require both skilled as well as unskilled labor along with technical personnel. Industries located in densely populated areas have no problems in accessing unskilled labor or untrained workers. But skillful labor is still a controlling factor for the location of industries. The textile mills in Ahmedabad are located in densely populated area, but the skilled labor or trained people are usually hired from an outside area. Power. It is a critical input in deciding the location of industries. Modern industries are largely dependent on power. Earlier industries were located near coal fields, but with the increasing use of water power, the industries are being located near water power stations. With mobile sources like oil and natural gas, power efficiency has improved in modern times. Electricity can be easily transported to longer distances. Nowadays, only those industries which require abundant electricity are located near the powerhouses. Transport. Location of industry becomes difficult in areas where means of transport are not developed. This is because industrialization requires raw materials to be taken to the site of production and the finished goods are to be taken to the market. All those areas which have the advantage of a good system of transport, roads, railways and waterways, have developed industries. The northern plains of India have good roads and railways and thus have main industrial towns. Capital. The establishment of an industry needs large amount of money. It is needed to purchase land, construct building, setting up machines and to pay for labor. Capital may not be an important factor in deciding the location, but it plays its role in growth and diversification of industries. Banks and financial institutions provide loans at low rate of interest as industries provide impetus to the development of a region. Industries are usually located in those parts where there is an easy availability of capital. Market. Market is a must for growth and development of an industry. The demand for manufactured goods plays an important role in the location of an industry. A good market should be accessible to the consumers and to the industry and reflect the demand for different kinds of products if the manufactured good have to make a profit. For example, cotton cloth has a larger presence in the markets of hotter climate, whereas woolens do well in the markets of colder places. Apart from these, water supply, climatic conditions, and government policies are other such factors which determine the location of industry.
Factory is some factors affecting on industry. These are planning and organization, capital or funds, human resources, raw materials, basic facilities, transport, as well as government policies and communications. So let's start with the planning and organization. Planning and organization is the first step to set up an industry. Setting up an industry requires careful planning. Goals, purposes, and outcomes should be set out before taking any step. As you know, students, for any work, we must have plan ourselves to achieve the goal. If we don't have any planning, or if we do not have any plan for our work, so we cannot achieve our goal in a good manner. So if we want to achieve the goal, or if we want have a good production, so planning is must necessary. In the same way, industries also need a plan. Then capital and fund. Capital, as you know, we have already learned in the first lecture. I discussed about the capital. Capital or funds. Capital actually means money or investment. So no industry can be set up without capital, or funds are required to pay salaries and buy raw material, machinery, and other essential items to run the industry. If we have less capital, so definitely we have less or low outcome or low profit. Then we have human resources. Human resources or workers are effective factor. Today we know machines are here, and almost 80% of man's work can be done by the machines. But although we are not supposed to neglect the human resources or human power, some industries require workers with a high education level, knowledge, and expertise, while others only require skilled workers with experience. Both groups are equally important for any industry. So, the next one is raw material. Raw material are the natural products which we get from the nature, and we manufacture or we turn these material in the secondary industry and prepare the products. So manufacturing industry cannot run without raw materials. The cotton industry is dependent on cotton yarn. The mining industry depends on ore. The car industry depends on parts, and so on. There are some varieties of material you can see. Now we have some examples of raw materials. Now basic facilities. Basic facilities such as water supply, electricity, and other power resources, just as gas. These are very essential to run an industry. For example, here I am using an example of Faisalabad textile industry. Some years back in Faisalabad, there is a crisis, and the load shedding and the breakdown of electricity is all about for 18 hours in a day. So industries can affected badly. So what was the effect of industries, like on the consumer or on the purchaser or on the common man? Definitely the price of the product reached on the higher, so the consumer cannot buy its required material. It is an example. Other power resources are also very important for running up an industry. Then transport. Goods produced have to reach the markets where they can be sold. A well-developed transport system is essential. Motorways, airports, and wet and dry ports help in moving manufactured goods to consumer. If we don't have transport system, consumer cannot get the product which is manufactured in industry, and our all the effort which is required to complete a whole process in the manufacturing of a good or a product, it can be no use, it cannot be completed without any transport system. Then the government policies and encouragements can promote the industries or can no industry can begin or work without the support of the state or government. Industry friendly policies encourages all sectors of industry and help in times of crisis. For example, sometimes government give the loans to the mill owners, or sometimes taxes are very high, so industry cannot pay the industrials are not supposed to pay the taxes, so it can be affected on the products and the prices of the products as well. And the next one is communication network. Communication networks means the advertisement, telecommunication, internet, and other ways to deliver a message that this thing is the product is ready to use and the consumer can buy it. Through this network, the producer reach out to people, create awareness about the availability of products, and urge them to buy. Hoardings, television and radio commercials, pamphlets, and brochures are included in the communications network. Nowadays, you can see in lockdown, we have a better communication system through Facebook. The people are going to use online shopping. They ordered their needs, their goods which they want on internet, on Facebook, and they can purchase everything. So the scenario is a little bit different, but industries can be worked in lockdown as well. Now there is a task to do. Make a list of factors which you learn in the PPT and define each of them in your own words. You can also take the help of your book. Page numbers are also mentioned in the PPT. Then question number 2 is how the shortage of raw material would affect the company or an industry. Write at least 3 damages. Then the third one, suppose if company has not an experienced employee in their HR department. HR department means human resource department. Think the aspect in which company will suffer. Now there are some situations. Look at the given situations and identify the factors affecting their businesses and write down the reasons how they can achieve their goals. So the situation is in Faisalabad there is largest textile industry of Pakistan. Also it is known as Manchester of Pakistan. Faisalabad is known as Manchester of Pakistan because of its textiles mill. And Pakistan depends on the industry for export. A few months back or a few years back, textile mill owners got a loss because of less production. They want to find out the reason of it. Will you please find out the reason and note down in your copy. Number 2, everything was perfect except electricity background. Yes, in the past, mills also facing electricity background, but only for 4 hours a day, and now they face it for 18 hours per day. Even though They have generators to fulfill the needs. They face the loss. Why it's so? The third one is Hira's grandmother prepared pickle from fresh vegetable and sell it out among her neighbors and family members. A few months back, Hira watched an advertise on theraz.com. She registered her mother as a producer of pickle. Now her business start growing. Why it's so? So do these work or these question in your copy. Thank you.